I'm Spencer.
And I'm Steve.
And this is our Stranger Things Season 2 recap, episode number 1, Mad Max. And we're doing it in 11 minutes, and the time starts now. Okay, Steve, so we're jumping back into Stranger Things Season 2 after Season 1. Man, we're picking up a year later. Here's where we're at. We got the boys, Will Byers, Dustin Henderson, Lucas Sinclair, Mike Wheeler. They're all together again, right? They're riding high. We got the love triangle, Nancy Wheeler, Steve Harrington, and Jonathan Byers. What's going to happen? I don't know. I'm excited to see. Of course, we got the mom, Joyce Byers, and then my old favorite, Chief Jim Hopper. Who else?
And we also have some new players as well into the mix. We've got Bob Newberry. We've got Maxine Mad Max, Murray Bauman, and Dr. Owens, played by none other than Paul Reiser. Ode to the 80s.
Okay, Steve, so this episode starts off, and looks like there's another girl who has, like, maybe not 11 powers, but some sort of powers, number 8.
Right, starts right in, and we see a chase scene starting out in Pittsburgh, and suddenly, she causes the viaduct to crash over, but then it's really just an illusion.
Right. So we go right from there, like that. We don't know what that means. We jump right back to the familiar setting. We got the boys, and they're grabbing money. They're stealing change, and they're running off to go down to the arcade. This is 80s all the way. They're playing a video game version of like Dungeons and Dragons. They're playing Dragon Lair. They're playing Dig Dug.
Which I hated that game.
I never play the game. I kind of want to, but anyway.
Game. So they hit Dig Dug, and they find out that that Dustin's high score has now been beat by a Mad Max, unknown to them. Who is this new person?
No idea, right? But of course, Will walks outside, and the second he gets outside, all of a sudden, he's like in the Upside Down, or maybe he's seen the Upside Down in his vision. I'm not really sure. Big smoke monster comes out. What do you think? Is this Lost? What's going on?
Exactly. Giant ominous cloud in the sky, frozen in space, and crazy. Don't know what it's going to be, but we're excited to see. I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
I don't know what's going on there, but then, of course, we jump over to my friend Chief Jim Hopper, and he's talking to this new guy, you were saying, Murray Bauman. He's like conspiracy aliens. Like, he has this like creepy vibe, and it looks like he's trying to like take Barb's family for all their money and trying to like, bilk them or something. I'm not sure what's going on with this dude. You think he's bad?
Well, he's got questions about some Russian girl and about some psychic abilities or whatnot, so Hopper's got to kind of check it out.
Yeah, it seems like he knows something, but, Hopper's looking for a reason to kind of get out of there. And, of course, the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown field is what draws his attention away, man. Right. I was waiting for the Great Pumpkin to rise. Were you?
Rotting in space. Linus was waiting. No, so there's flies, everything's rotted, and it seems to be, field upon field, as we learn later.
Yeah, we're not really sure what's going on there. Then we jump back, and so now we're going to get into like the, Nancy and Steve, they're hanging out. This is a year later. They're still together. I mean, I get the impression that like Steve is like still trying to like, be kind of the cool guy, but also seems like maybe he's changed a little bit, but I don't know. Nancy just kind of seems normal at this point.
Right? I think she can't get over what happened, whereas Steve's trying to play it like nothing ever happened, but yet they killed the Demogorgon. So it's kind of, that changes the relationship.
Right. And of course, then we see Jonathan, and Jonathan's still kind of, he's got them eyes for Nancy. He's making the googlies.
Now, this is the first time we see the boot-wearing, cigar-smoking, mullet-sporting dude in a Trans Am.
Yeah, I like the Trans Am, and I like his choice in 80s music. Not so much his stinky mustache and hairstyle, though.
I was going to say the same thing. So we're going to see how he comes into play, but he looks like a tough guy. I don't know. He's going to be maybe an
antagonist or something. Yeah,
a human antagonist.
He's got that look about him. Okay, so here's the thing. We know that the first season of Stranger Things was a lot like E.T. I'm guessing this one's going to be similar, kind of like the Goonies, and you can't have a better crossover between a Goonies kind of feel than to get Sean Astin himself. He's playing a character named Bob Newby, and he's dating Joyce Byers. It kind of gets to feel like he maybe had a crush on her in high school, and like he finally is getting the girl years later.
Exactly. Kind of a nerd, kind of a dweeb, kind of a father figure, though, to Jonathan and Will.
Right, and the funny thing is, like, you see him like making out of the back of that store, and this is like in the 80s, and it's like they can't just like go back to their house. I mean, they're adults; they got to do it in the store. But
she's a working mom, man, single parent. What do you do?
Well,
you got to make time. You got to make time. Okay. Now, then we get back to Hawkins National Laboratory where there's some queer things going on.
Creepy.
And this is where we meet Dr. Owens for the first time, which, again, a great ode to Paul Reiser, who was in Aliens. We've got Sean Astin in Goonies. We've got some really...
he was in Mad About You.
I'm mad about you as well. There you go. There you go. So anyway, so we see him that he's kind of working with Will and asking some difficult questions about some of the things that he's experienced.
Did you get the sense that like he knows more that's going on? Like he's trying to play it cool, like, hey, I'm just here to help. But I really get the idea like he's like data mining him for information, right?
Yeah, there's an ominous feel there. There's some sinister, murky waters at play, I believe.
Right. So Will's telling him what's going on. He's trying to give him some information, but it seems like Will doesn't also want to talk. Did you get that kind of sense?
Well, he finally gets out of him. He says Will says that he could sense the monster wanted to kill him and everyone around him, but not Will himself, which is interesting. We're going to see how that plays out.
Right. I'm excited to see what's going to come up. I can't wait to watch the next one. All right. So obviously we see that the Hawkins lab is still covering up some sort of rift into the upside down, this other dimension. And looks like they're burning something. I couldn't really see. It looked like maybe like some sort of monster, maybe.
Well, exactly. And you kind of hear the reaction from the monster, whatever it is, kind of the squealing. So it's obviously alive and it obviously doesn't like the heat because it's getting out the kitchen.
Bring the fire, baby. Okay.
And one last thing, justice for Barb.
Yes.
I know that Nancy, goes and as you said earlier, Murray Bauman is taking Barb's family for all they're worth because Barb's family still thinks that she's alive. So they've hired this private eye.
Right, because they told her that she ran away, right? Or she disappeared.
That's right. Yeah, she disappeared. Exactly. Which is hard for Nancy. She knows the truth, and it's hard to not come clean.
Steve, if we had accidentally murdered one of our friends and we had to sit with our parents, how hard would that conversation and dinner be?
No, it'd be fine. It was KFC, man. Finger looking good.
That is true. It was KFC. Okay, here's the big clue, right? The big question. Where's 11? Like, we want to see her. We want to know what's going on. She's not there. No one knows. The last time we saw her, she killed the Demogorgon and then disappeared.
That's right.
Where is she, Steve?
Now, Mike is still trying to get in touch with 11 via walkie-talkies, trying to see if she's okay, hoping, praying that she's out there, kind of like Barb's parents.
Right. So, we're hoping to see she's back. The next thing we see in this is, Will starts having more dreams, right? He's having these kind of visions that are connecting him. I think he's going to become some sort of like medium for the Upside Down in this season. That's just a guess. I'm not sure.
Well, as you recall how the last season ended, right? He goes into the bathroom, he coughs up the, whatever it is, the maggot-type worm.
Right, and then he kind of sees the Upside Down, or like we see it maybe, but he doesn't.
Yeah, so it seems like, it was inside of him, and we'll see what effects it had on him.
Nice. Yeah, true.
Now this ends with probably the big reveal at the end, right? Hopper drives out in the middle of nowhere to a house in the woods, tries to avoid some kind of wire traps so you can see he's protected the place. And what does he find?
I was thinking he had someone chained up when he was first coming up to the house. I'm thinking like he's got some sort of like upside down creature, some sort of weirdness,
or maybe one of the scientists.
Yeah, exactly, something, right? Something's going on. But then he does this like special like little knock, 2 knocks, 1 knock, 3 knocks. And then all of a sudden you hear the door opening, but like no one's behind the door. And then we find out there's our buddy 11. She's just chilling, using her psionic powers to open the door.
Sitting with a half-eaten Eggo, waiting for Hopper to come home for dinner.
Right. And so she starts talking to him like, you said you were going to be home at 5:15. And he's like, no, that's 5:15. So like you get the impression that like she's kind of been hanging out with him for a while maybe. Like they seem,
and then again, this is a year later, so it's been some time.
Yeah, they seem chummy. I'm not exactly sure how she came to be living out in the middle of the woods, and Hopper knows where she is. But I mean, microwave dinners, you can't go wrong, right?
No, can't go wrong. Hungry man all the way.
Got to eat them peas, though. Got to eat them peas. Okay, so that's kind of how the first episode of Mad Max comes down to a close. Steve, give me give me your overall impression of this episode.
I am so freaking excited to be back in Hawkins. I love this. I love this show. I love the kids. I think they're all phenomenal actors and actresses. 11 is back, though I think knew that she was going to be there, and I'm excited to get on with it. You?
I really loved this. It was jumping back into something. It felt comfortable because this, a lot of similar characters, and obviously they added some new characters in, and they didn't take a lot of time to try to like backstory it. But the 80s music and the vintage, like the arcade and like watching them play Dragon's Lair and Dig Dug are all things that kind of connect to my youth. And so like I'm feeling good about this. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where the next episode goes. Now we're recording this. We've only seen this one episode, so we're gonna We're going to wrap this up here, and then we're going to go watch the next episode.
This is crazy.
And then we're gonna do this all night long and get this all recorded in one shot. So, so here's my question to you: what are you expecting to see this season?
Bigger, better. You know, the Demogorgon has gone from one to this huge cloud thing in the sky. I am stoked to see how that works out. I think Will's not out of the woods yet. I'm expecting to see some love action here going on between, you know, the love triangle with Steve and Jonathan and Nancy. And
what about Dustin's teeth? You notice Justin has teeth?
I did notice that. He doesn't lisp as much anymore. And then, you know, just to see the characters kind of coming of age more. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll agree to everything you said. The other thing I'm hoping to see is a little sweet Joyce Byers and a Bob Newby love action. Maybe not a racy scene, but like, you know, something where you know, like, this is getting serious. They may go the long distance. Anyway,
gosh,
this has been our season 2, episode 1 Mad Max recap.